Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Sunday's feature race at Santa Anita is the 7th. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the turf, and it's the $70,000 Clocker's Corner Stakes. Bet it with a DRF Bets account. You won't be sorry because new players get to double your first deposit up to $250. Learn more at drf.com/bet. Let's meet the field for the Clocker's Corner. Wide open on the morning line. Double touch 3-1. On the line is your morning line favorite, dropping out of the Grade 2 Joe Hernandez, where he finished a decent second. You've got Guell coming off a scary late-run victory, 2 starts last time out. And then you have some interesting horses, 3 of them, as a matter of fact, at 4-1 on the morning line. Pace always seems to make the race in these turf sprints. We'll take a look at the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector, and I kind of agree. I think what's on the agenda, the 5, is going to show speed. Bay Music is big speed. And really the question is, if Axeman runs in this race, he's also cross-entered in the Palos Verdes on dirt on Saturday. How will his dirt speed translate to turf?
Yeah, that is a pretty big question in this race. He doesn't really have that much turf pedigree. It really bothered me that Baffert entered him in here. So if he runs, I don't think I'd be too optimistic that he'll run his very best race, but maybe he'll show speed.
The one is Oiseau de Guerre, who was claimed for 62.5 last time out of a dirt race by Doug O'Neill, but this horse is more of a synthetic and turf performer. We'll go back to his race 2 starts back on the synth at Golden Gate. He's down inside in the Oakland Stakes. He was the favorite in this race. And Mike, after watching this race, I just didn't see the excuse. He finishes 3rd in the red cap.
It's sort of been the story of this horse's life. I mean, you and I probably remember him from the beginning of his career when he started out for Chad Brown, and you know, he had a pretty big reputation then. He never really panned out. I don't see that things are that much different. I do like him sprinting, Dan. I just don't really like any of his races. It's interesting that O'Neill claimed him. I think that's the only thing I can say about him.
Guell was a Group 2 stakes winner in Brazil, and when Mark Casse first got him, he was a speed horse on turf and synthetic. Peter Miller took him over, got him to go 5.5 on the turf, and I don't think anyone expected this. From a running style standpoint alone, he's last on the rail. We're turning into the lane. He's what, Mike, 7 out of it at this point? How does he win? But he does.
Yeah, I don't know how he won this race. This is a big late run he makes in this race. You can see down towards the inside, just to point out, Lil Milo, who's back in this race too, got blocked. So maybe that's a horse to keep an eye on as well. But this horse, I don't know how he won this race. I don't think it's surprising that he improved off the trainer change to Peter Miller, but that was a pretty surprising win, just considering where he was at the 3/16 pole. I was pretty taken with that performance.
It appears the change in tactics just worked wonders, and I don't think they're going to try to fool with it. I think they'll take him back, let him find his stride, and try one run. We'll see if the pace works to his favor. Lil Milo, we saw him down tight, down towards the inside, and he was kind of dirtied up going into that race, wasn't he? They tried him on the dirt against Horse Greedy. He was a decent old timer, 2 back, and that's not his surface. They tried him 2 turns against a good horse in Ronald R., and that's not his distance. His turf sprints are all good, and he's going to be a price in this race.
Yeah, that makes me want to use him just because he really is a turf sprinter. And he, you know, I don't know if he was going to win or not last time, Dan, but he got blocked all through the stretch, basically. Never really got a chance to run. It makes him interesting in this race.
Axeman's the number 4. Again, he's cross-entered in the Palos Verdes on his preferred dirt surface on Saturday. If Baffert scratches and runs him here, he's got some nice dirt lines. But as you mentioned in the open, he's just got no turf pedigree. Misremembered the sire, only 7% with first-time turf runners. This dam has thrown nothing but top-flight dirt horses, but 4 turf runners, none have won on the surface.
Right. I mean, there's just no pedigree, and I just can't believe that it's a good sign for this horse if he does come back off this layoff and runs on turf.
I wonder if what's on the agenda gets a little bit lost in the shuffle coming out of that Guell race, because I think a lot of folks are just going to be wowed by Gould's late run and kind of head on over to him at the windows. And I think folks are going to see Lil Milo's trip, and maybe he'll be a price, but I think he'll bet a little bit. I think what's on the agenda at least had a little bit of an excuse because it was his first start since the summer, and he's going to get the jump on both of those horses turning into the stretch. I wish he had more of a winning profile, lots of seconds and thirds, but he's going to be probably in front or very prominent turning into the lane, and he's got races.
I respect his speed, and I realize that he has a lot of figures that make him very tough in this race, in fact. I certainly view him as a contender, Dan. I'm bothered. I think I see 6 races on his card here where he had clear leads in the stretch, and he didn't hold on to any of them.
Double Touch is a horse that I always felt needed a little farther than 5.5 furlongs. He ran really well last time out in the Hernandez. We're going to watch that race. He was kind of held up in behind horses turning into the stretch, and he's just getting to the outside, third to the left of your screen right now. He has a lot of work to do against some nice turf sprinters, and he comes with a good run, and this is what he does. He has won some races at a mile. I think 5.5 is a little short unless you give him some pace, but let's be honest, that was a really nice effort.
Yeah, he's run well. His last 2 turf sprints, both turf sprints since Sadler claimed him, he ran well on both of those races. We'll see if he can get there this time because his running style kind of works against him.
Bay Musique was able to get out to the lead in the Hernandez. We saw Double Touch pip him for second in the shadow of the wire. I think they don't fool around here. Even with a horse like What's on the Agenda breaking to the inside, I don't think you take this horse's best asset away from him and sit off another horse. I think you have to send him.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's supposed to be the speed in this race.
He has also done some good work in his career, 7 for 15 lifetime, but his most recent win came for a $40,000 tag. So class concerns abound. Let's take a look at our top picks for the Clockers Corner Stakes. Guell, you saw it for yourselves, folks. That was a very powerful late run. Joel Rosario just seems to fit this one very, very well. He's where you're going to run down What's on the Agenda. He's going to blow a clear lead again, Mike?
Nah, that's all. That seems to be what he likes to do. So we'll see what happens. I feel kind of silly falling for Guell off that last race, but I was pretty impressed with it. I'll see if he can do it again.
I'm going to be screaming wire, perhaps, with What's on the Agenda. If he can put Bay Musique away and make that lead in mid-stretch, I think he'll do better. Second off, the layoff. 5, 6, 7, 2 for me, 2, 5, 3, and 6 for Mike. It's the Clockers Corner, your feature at the Great Race Place on Sunday. Approximate post, 3:27 Pacific. Good luck.